Elara loved the whispering woods. She felt at home among the ancient trees. The sunlight filtering through the leaves was magical. The forest held secrets she knew. Elara was drawn to them. One day she stumbled upon a clearing. It was different. An old moss-covered doorway stood in the center, vines entwined around it. They pulsed with an ethereal light. Elara was curious. She had never seen this before. She reached out and touched the door. The door felt cold. It vibrated with hidden energy. Elara hesitated for a moment. What was on the other side? Fear gave way to her adventurous spirit. This was meant to be, she felt. Taking a deep breath, she pushed the door open. It swung open silently. A rush of warm air greeted her. It smelled of wildflowers and exotic spices. Elara stepped inside. She was ready for anything. Elara gasped. She found herself in a grand hall. It was unlike anything she'd ever seen. The walls shimmered with 1,000 colors. Strange symbols were etched into the stone. They glowed with an inner light. In the center of the hall stood a pedestal. A book lay open upon it. It seemed to beckon her. As Elara approached, a voice echoed through the hall. It spoke of a curse. This realm was dying. The book held the key to saving it. Elara was the chosen one. She had to find 3 mystical artifacts. The first artifact was the golden feather of courage. It was said to be hidden in the nest of the griffin. The griffin was a fearsome creature. It had the head and wings of an eagle and the body of a lion. Elara knew this would be a dangerous task, but she was determined to succeed. She had to find the artifacts. The fate of the realm rested on her shoulders. Facing the griffin, Elara journeyed for days. The journey was long and treacherous. She finally reached the griffin's nest. It was perched high on a mountain peak. The griffin circled above, its sharp eyes watching her every move. Elara knew she couldn't fight the griffin. She had to use her wits. She remembered reading about griffins. They valued courage above all else. Taking a deep breath, Elara began to climb the treacherous cliffs to reach the nest. The silver tear of compassion. Elara's heart pounded. She finally reached the nest. It was filled with treasures, but Elara only cared about one. A single golden feather lay nestled amongst the gold. The feather shimmered with a warm light. As Elara reached for it, the griffin swooped down. "What do you seek here, little one?" It boomed, its voice echoing around the peaks. "Great griffin," Elara said, her voice trembling slightly. "I seek the golden feather of courage. I need it to break a curse upon the realm." The griffin studied her with intelligent eyes. "Courage is not the absence of fear," it said finally. "It is facing your fears with a true heart." The griffin extended its wing. A single tear rolled down its cheek. It landed on a silver leaf, transforming into a shimmering tear. That was the true test of courage, Elara realized. Facing her fears with a pure heart, she carefully collected the silver tear of compassion. The Siren's Song. The second artifact was the silver tear of compassion. It was guarded by a siren. Sirens were creatures of immense beauty. They lured sailors to their deaths with their enchanting voices. Elara had to find a way to resist the siren's song. She knew it would be difficult, but she had to try. The fate of the realm depended on it. The crystal shard of wisdom. Elara sailed across a vast stormy sea. She finally reached the siren's island. The siren sat upon a rock, her voice a haunting melody that filled the air. Elara plugged her ears with beeswax. She couldn't hear the siren's song, but she could feel its pull. It tugged at her heart, trying to draw her closer. Elara closed her eyes and thought of the dying realm. She thought of the people she needed to save. Her resolve hardened. She wouldn't be swayed. The siren, seeing her resolve, stopped singing. "You're different," the siren said, her voice now soft and melodic. "You have a heart full of compassion. You may pass." Elara had passed the test. She was granted the silver tear of compassion. The final artifact was the crystal shard of wisdom. It was hidden in the Shadow Beast's lair. The Shadow Beast was a creature of darkness. It fed on fear and despair. Elara had to face her own fears to defeat it. She knew this would be the hardest challenge yet, but she was ready. Elara descended into the Shadow Beast's lair. It was a place of darkness and fear. The air was thick with the smell of decay. The Shadow Beast lunged at Elara, its claws outstretched. Elara didn't fight. She stood tall and faced the creature. She remembered all she had learned on her journey. Courage was not the absence of fear, but the will to overcome it. Compassion meant understanding the suffering of others. And wisdom came from learning from her experiences. Elara spoke to the shadow beast, not with words, but with understanding. She showed the creature compassion, recognizing its own pain. The shadow beast hesitated, confused by her empathy. It shrunk back, its darkness receding. A single crystal shard, glowing with a soft light, emerged from its retreating form. Elara had found the crystal shard of wisdom. Elara placed the 3 artifacts on the pedestal. The hall was bathed in a blinding light. The curse was broken. Magic flowed back into the realm. The dying land was healed. Elara returned to the Whispering Woods. She was a hero, but more importantly, she was changed. She had faced her fears, shown compassion, and gained wisdom. The enchanted world held no more secrets for her. She was finally home.